Hey everybody, this is Rykard here again, and welcome to another Pokemon Sun and Moon Movesets video. In this video, I'm going to be talking all about the Ghost variant of Silvally. So let's get started by jumping right into the first moveset that I have for you in this video. So for this first moveset, we're going to begin by giving Silvally a Jolly Nature to increase its speed but lower its special attack, and then run a physically offensive EV spread that includes giving it 252 physical attack EVs, 4 special defense EVs, and 252 speed EVs, to give it its max physical attack and speed possible. As for the item on all of these movesets, we're going to be going with the Ghost Memory to turn Silvally into a Ghost-type Pokemon and take advantage of all the things that this typing allows. So for the first move on this set, we're going to be going with Multi-Attack to be your main stab 90 base power physical Ghost-type move. Then for some coverage, we're going to be going with X-Scissor as a way to allow this Pokemon to reliably deal with Dark-type Pokemon that are easily going to want to switch in on this Pokemon's Ghost-type moves and handle it very easily. Then for his third attack, we're either going to go with Ice Fang to give you some additional type coverage, specifically if you're planning on using this Pokemon in any tier like OU, where there's a lot of Landorus running around, and this will give you a reliable way to deal with those Pokemon that can easily lower your physical attack with Intimidate. But because Ghost and Bug together just have some fantastic coverage in and of themselves, we can actually just run Swords Dance in this move slot to allow this Pokemon to boost its physical attack by 2 stages and make it an even more threatening physical attacker. Finally, for the last move on the set, we're going to run either a switching move in the form of U-Turn and Parting Shot, U-Turn being particularly useful on the set because there are, first of all, not a ton of Ghost Pokemon that have access to this, and this will also give you a reliable way to U-Turn out on Dark-type Pokemon that are going to want to come in and deal with you, but it will also give you just a nice strong move to use in combination with possibly a boosted stat if you go with Swords Dance in the third move slot, as a way to just hit something hard and switch out. Whereas Parting Shot is more of a team support move to allow you to also switch out, but will be lowering your opponent's attack stats in the process. You could also theoretically run, if you go with a third attack on the set, Swords Dance here to give you 3 attack options along with a boosted physical attack by 2 stages, or run Substitute in this last move slot for a couple of reasons. The first being that Ghost typing is just really good defensively, so if you could potentially bring this Pokemon in on something that doesn't have a lot of moves to hit you, you could potentially get a free sub and then have an easy time dealing with whatever is brought in against you. But it's also particularly useful if your opponent is bringing in something that has access to Pursuit, because if you do have Substitute up, you can more safely switch out after you are quote-unquote Pursuit trapped, because Pursuit will hit your sub as opposed to you, allowing this variant of Silvally to work a little bit easier and not have to worry about such things occurring. As for this next moveset, we're going to be making use of a special attacking Ghost-type Silvally. So we're going to start this one off by giving it a Timid Nature to boost its speed but lower its physical attack, and then running a specially offensive EV spread that includes 252 special attack EVs, 4 special defense EVs, and 252 speed EVs to give it its max special attack and speed possible. As for the moves, since this is the specially offensive version of this Pokemon, we're going to begin by giving it Shadow Ball to give it a nice powerful special Ghost-type move to make use of. Then for additional coverage, we're either going to give it Thunderbolt in the second move slot, or potentially running Tri-Attack as well, just because this Pokemon is one of the few Pokemon that even has access to this move, and the fact that it could potentially burn, paralyze, or freeze your opponent can come in handy. As for your third attacking option, we're going to include Ice Beam on here to give you that really great Bolt Beam combo in combination with your Stab Shadow Ball, essentially allowing this Pokemon to pretty much hit everything in the game for neutral or super effective damage. But we could also run Workup in this third move slot as well, as a way of not only boosting your physical attack, but more importantly, boosting your special attack to deal more damage with all of your special moves. Finally, again, we're going to include U-Turn and Parting Shot on this set, but instead of Swords Dance like the previous set, we could also run Workup here as a way to run 3 special attacks in combination with Workup to boost their damage, or like before, run Substitute to give this Pokemon an advantage in battle, but also the ability to take a little bit more advantage of its Ghost typing by subbing up on something that can't really deal too much damage to it. As for this next moveset, we're going to be running more of a bulky Rest Talk variant for Silvally. So we're going to start this one off by giving it a Bold Nature to increase its physical defense but lower its physical attack, and then run an EV spread that includes giving it 252 HP EVs, 88 defense EVs, and 168 special defense EVs to give this Pokemon its maximum mixed bulk possible. As for the moves on this set, we're again going to go with a specially attacking route by starting off by giving it Shadow Ball to give it a nice base 80 power special Ghost type move to make use of its Ghost typing with. Then for our second option, we're either going to run Tri-Attack or Roar. Try Attack being a great move to just give you some neutral coverage versus pretty much everything else that Shadow Ball isn't going to be able to hit for neutral damage, since ghost type attacks are just very good in general since not a lot of things resist them. Try Attack is also useful because you could potentially burn, paralyze, or freeze your opponent with it. But we can also run Roar here as well to give this Pokemon a great phasing move to potentially stop a setup sweeper and also allow it to phase things out and possibly rack up entry hazard damage on your opponents if you're making use of attacks that will set up hazards. Finally, for the last two moves, as mentioned before, we're going to be running Rest and Sleep Talk to not only allow this Pokemon to have some valuable recovery to make it last for a long time, but also to still make it an offensive threat even while it's asleep. Finally, for this last moveset, we're going to be making use of another bulky variant of this Pokemon. So again, we're going to go with the Bold Nature and the same EV spread as the previous set, but for the first move, we're going to be making use of either Thunder Wave or Toxic to allow this Pokemon to either cripple things by paralyzing them, potentially making it so that they don't even attack for a turn and lowering their speed significantly, or Toxic as a way to wear down opposing Pokemon over time by slowly draining away their HP in increasing amounts at the end of every turn. As for the next move though, we're going to be running Shadow Ball again because we're going to go special, and then for the second attack option, either go with Air Slash to work more so in combination with Thunder Wave, essentially giving you some para-flinching, or Try Attack again for reasons stated before, in that it gives you just some great neutral coverage with Shadow Ball, and also it could potentially paralyze things in itself in addition to burning and potentially freezing them as well. Finally, for the last move on this set, we're again going to include U-Turn and Parting Shot to give this Pokemon a way to switch in and out of the battlefield easily, doing a little bit of damage in the process with U-Turn or lowering your opponent's attacking stats with Parting Shot. But anyways everybody, that is it for this particular video for Silvally, so I hope you all enjoyed, and as always, if you're taking a look at this screen right now, feel free to click on another annotated link above each type to allow you to be transported to another video on that particular type of Silvally. But anyways everybody, that is it as stated before, so as always, take care, goodbye, and I will see you all next time.